Welcome to Zlearn. Today let's discuss what are emergent abilities and scaling law. Have you ever wondered why bigger AI models suddenly gain new abilities? To understand this, let's consider GPT-2 and GPT-4 models. If you compare these two models, GPT-4 model has better abilities than GPT-2, like reasoning or arithmetical or logical capabilities. In a span of 1 or 2 years, why there is sudden increase in these abilities? To understand this, let's take an example of a model. A model is getting trained to predict the last word in a sentence, and model size is getting increased gradually. At a critical point, at a certain threshold, there is a sudden spike in the abilities of model. At this critical point, this ability is called as emergent ability. A model is trained to predict the last word in a sentence. Based on the pattern that is generated in the model is getting newer abilities like reasoning or arithmetical or coding abilities. This phenomenon is called as emergent abilities. So few of the emergent abilities models gains are arithmetic abilities, logical abilities, translation. So let's say a model is getting trained to translate from French to Spanish. It suddenly starts translating from French to Hindi or Spanish to Hindi or from English to Spanish or English to French. These are few emergent abilities it acquires, or it could be like coding examples. It starts giving proper syntax in multiple different coding languages. Also, multi-step reasoning gives step-by-step reasoning why some phenomena happens. So these are the few emergent abilities that a model will start possessing. And this emergent abilities is sudden. So let's give an example like heating of water. Until certain degree, let's say until 100 degrees Celsius, water will be just heating. When this critical 100 degrees Celsius is hit, it suddenly starts boiling and the water is converted into steam. Same process happens in model training. Model will be fed with data and model size will be kept on increasing. But at this critical point, it starts giving emergent abilities. New abilities like reasoning or arithmetic will start appearing. And if we see the representations, a smaller model will have simple representations, simple patterns. So one specific task for which the model is trained is accomplished. But when it comes to large models, multiple complex pattern is formed. Because of this complex patterns, new abilities starts emerging and it gives rise to emergent abilities. Now let's discuss scaling law. As more data, more parameter, more compute is fed to the model. As the model size increases, the error starts reducing. And this reduction is gradual and more predictable, and the improvement is continuous. If you see the second graph, you can see two graphs. One is smooth curve and another one is step function. The smooth curve is scaling law because the improvement is gradual and improvement is predictable. And the second graph is step function. This is how emergent ability is achieved. So to infer from these two graphs is that intelligence is predictable but abilities unlock abruptly. We can give two analogies for emergent ability. First one is a sand pile. If you have a small sand pile and if we keep adding sand grain, at a certain point the sand pile will collapse. Also, the second analogy is key and lock. If the key doesn't fit the lock and if we continuously refine the key and at certain point it suddenly fits the lock. This is the critical point. To summarize, emergent abilities appear when we have enough scale and we hit the critical threshold. And bigger models means we get new abilities, which could be emergent abilities. Also, with gradual increase in the model size, there is increase in the intelligence of the model. So we can say that GPT-4 got such good capabilities compared to GPT-2. Thank you. If you need more such AI explainers, please consider subscribing to the channel.